recording earlier, is our STEAM teacher, and he will be part of the Robotics Club as well. Miss Ranslam is another 5th grade teacher, and Miss Caitlin is one of our staff members at our school. So, why robotics? Students learn to be creative thinkers, they solve problems, they master teamwork, collaboration, they find meaningful role models, they form friendships, and it lays the ground for future careers in STEAM. So, if your child is really interested in the sciences, the engineering, and mathematics, robotics is a great way to get them started. So some of the robotics expectations we have aligns with our Wolf's ways. How with your friends, collaboration is key. Students are encouraged to problem solve in their teams and they work together with each other. So a lot of times the students will be in groups where they need to be able to communicate with their peers and say, hey, this is what I think, and it's okay if their idea isn't what they decide to go with. Collaboration is hard for a lot of kids. So collaboration, key. And then we have keep your den clean. Students will be working with very expensive parts and very tiny pieces sometimes. And we want to make sure that everything is organized so that those robots can be built and those projects can be completed. And we want to make sure that kids are taking care of the materials that are being given to them. Now, trusting your instincts, that includes making sure that students are acting responsibly. They are making decisions where they know that aligns with what is being expected in the classroom. And then staying on track, students are working towards completing a project. So they're not there to, play with the robots, but actually working towards completing a project and seeing how it can relate to real world circumstances or events, right? And then we have being a leader, making sure that students are not just speaking and leading, but also listening to their classmates, their teammates' ideas, and they're being considerate to each other. That is hard for a lot of students, is to listen and then take that idea and then include it into their work. So, parents were asking about dates and time. Robotics Club will be starting on Tuesday, January 18, 2022. So it will start after the winter break. It will not start anytime this week or the first week of school when we come back. And the reason being is we are waiting on our robots to come in. We had to order a lot more in order to have enough for all of our kiddos. So what that means is that we're going to be delaying it a little bit, and students will be starting Tuesday, January 18th. What is happening, because our club is larger than what we expected, is that we are breaking the groups into 2 smaller groups. So on Tuesday, we're going to have grades kindergarten through 2nd grade, and on Thursdays, we're going to have 3rd grade through 8th grade. So what that means is if your child is in robotics, they are only meeting once a week. So that is what's going to happen. They're either meeting on Tuesday or on Thursday. They are not going to all meet at the same time because that's too many kids in one place. And the robots they are using are different depending on their grade level. And it would not make sense to, spend 20 minutes teaching kids one robot and then spend another 20 minutes teaching another robot to a group of kids. It's better if we just split them up. So from 3 o'clock to 3:20, students are expected to meet at the snack tables, at the lunch tables to get their snack, and they're going to eat there, and then we're going to be directing them to the den. So the students will be directed by me, Mr. G, Miss Ranslam, or Miss Caitlin. They're going to be walking to the den, which is right next to the cafeteria. They should not be lost from going from one place to the next. Parents are required to pick up students promptly in front of the school by 4:20 p.m. If there are any late pickups, it may result in student removal from the club. So if we constantly have to ask, hey, mom and dad, please make sure your child is being picked up on time, then your child will be removed and we will accept someone else into the club. Policy, students may be in other clubs. So for instance, if you're in debate and that's on Tuesday, and you're also in robotics and you're a 3rd grader and that's on Thursday, then yes, you can be in both clubs because you are in 2 different clubs in 2 different times and those times work for you. So just make sure that they do not conflict, because I know some clubs are on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You cannot do robotics Tuesdays and then sometimes skip a week and then do something else another week because you have 2 clubs that you're in and they conflict. So please be mindful and make sure that your clubs do not conflict with the times that we have. Because as we're doing robotics, we're building on from the previous lesson. So if a kid misses a session, they're not really going to understand what we're doing next. And then you're letting down your team who is expecting you to be there when we're working on a project. Dates and time. We have some dates that we're really excited about, which is we're hoping to compete for robotics rally at Cal State Poly Pomona. We're waiting back on them. I don't know what their protocol is right now because of all the COVID regulations, but when they get back to us, we'll let you know. But we are going to try to have a competition at Allegiance STEAM Academy just for our grade levels at least, so that the students can really show off and perform what they learned so far this year. For the robots that the kids will be using, if you are in kindergarten through second grade, there will be B-Bots and Milo Lego robot kits. If you are in third grade to fifth grade, it will be the Milo Lego Robotics and the EV3 Lego Robotics. And in sixth grade through eighth grade, you have the EV3 Lego Robots and the Spike Lego Robotics. So I see some kids on here, and I'm sure you're familiar. You've probably seen some of this in your STEAM lab, right? When you go to STEAM lab, sometimes you see these robots. You worked with them before. So you have an idea of, oh, do I really like to work with these robots? And if I want to continue working with it, then this is a great club for you. Okay? Now the requirements. Parents, please make sure that you are completing the form that looks like this. This one is the commitment form. And the commitment form tells us what grade your child is in, your child's teacher, and if this is the club that you want to be in. It tells us you're committed. And the waiver is for safety reasons. Please make sure that the waiver is also completed. So if there is an emergency, we can contact you directly. So we know if we need to contact you for any emergencies or anything that's going on. Emails will be sent out on Wednesday, December 15th if any waiver or commitment form is missing. So if you are missing a waiver or commitment form, we will be notifying you, hey, you forgot to submit your commitment and waiver form, please do that. And confirmation of acceptance into the club will be out on Thursday, December 15th. So some parents have not filled out a waiver or commitment form. Some parents have decided to drop because it conflicts with times or child is no longer interested. And that happens, and that's perfectly fine. Just let us know so that we can give that spot to a child who wants to be in it. As of right now, we are only accepting a certain amount of students based on how many robots we have. So it might not be that every child that signed up will get into the club. You will know by Thursday if you have been accepted and if you will be attending Tuesday and Thursday for the club meeting. Okay, so please make sure that you fill out a waiver and you fill out your commitment form. Those are two things we need so that you can be a part of the form, a part of the club. Now, if you happen to be on the wait list because we don't have enough robots or spots at the moment, then what's going to happen is if a child decides to no longer attend robotics or for whatever reason they decide to drop, then we will contact you next on our wait list. We have over 130 students who signed up. So that is a lot of students, and of course, for safety reasons, we cannot accept all students at the moment. Do you guys have any questions regarding that, the requirements, or what is expected as of right now? Yes. Feel free to speak.
Just a quick question. If I filled in the form and emailed you the waiver, you'll let me know if you got everything then, right?
Yes, those emails will be sent out only to parents who did not fill out a waiver or commitment form. If you did, then you won't be getting an email saying, "Hey, you completed it," but you will be getting an email you forgot to.
If we turned in our waiver through to our teacher, will we also? Should I do an online one or?
No. If you already submitted a waiver to your child's teacher, you're fine. Because those waivers are going directly to us. It's been put into our boxes. We will notify you if we're missing anything from you. Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Any other questions? I have hands up.
I have a question in regards to the waiver. If I did two different clubs, does one waiver work for both, or do I need an individual one for this one?
No, one waiver works for both. As long as there is a waiver submitted, they will make a copy for us to have another one.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, no problem. Anyone else have questions? No other questions? Okay, I'm going to pause.